Alamin naman natin ang mga pagsisikap ng Department of Science and Technology sa pagsusuri ng sakit na stroke. Yan ang ating pag-uusapan kasama ang nag-iisang neurogeneticist ng bansa at isa sa mga balik scientist mula sa Balik Scientist Program ng DOST, si Dr. Joyce Porto. Dr. Porto, magandang tanghali po.
Magandang tanghali po,
Tama
Sir
ba yun?
Joey. Opo.
Nag-iisang neurogeneticist?
Nag-iisang may yes po. Opo.
Ayun, congratulations at
Opo.
achievement talaga yan.
Salamat
Pero
po.
bago tayo magtungo sa usaping stroke, ma'am, talakayin muna natin yung tungkol sa yung Balik Scientist
Yes.
Program. So pag
Okay.
sinabing Balik Scientist, ibig sabihin nasa ibang bansa na kayo noon.
Yes po. So I'm a board certified neurologist po dito sa Philippines, no. And then that was around 2015 and then while I was working as a neurologist, I was looking for the program for the neurogenetics, and then I went to Japan for I did my fellowship and my PhD. So, PhD in neurogenetics. So, yes, nasa University of Tokyo Hospital na po ako sa Japan. And then, ang Balik Scientist po kasi ay isang programa, isang napakagandang programa ng Department of Science and Technology ng ating pamahalaan para hikayatin po ang mga eksperto po nasa ibang bansa pabalik sa Pilipinas. So ang battle cry nga po namin is balik puso, balik Pilipinas, balik scientist.
Ayun,
So,
nabanggit niyo,
opo.
ma'am, na nasa Japan na kayo. Kasi
Yes.
pag sinasabing Japan noon, lalo na sa scientific community, mga high-tech, napaka-advanced,
Yes.
well, compared to developing countries.
Opo.
So, ano yung naghikayat sa inyo na bumalik sa Pilipinas at obviously to serve the Filipino people?
Primarily, it's really siguro na-inculcate din sa atin talaga sa UP noong pagmamahal sa bansa natin. When I was there, actually my entire family migrated to Japan. So I have 3 kids. All of us went, and my husband. We're all there. My kids are studying there. We pretty had a good life also there. But it's really the heart of service to our nation that really brought me back home. The core of everything that I'm doing is how can I be of service to the Filipino people. And so, kumbaga yun talaga ang aking primary reason, and to bring the expertise that I had accumulated or learned from sa Japan, pabalik naman sa Pilipinas. Opo.
Sa pagkakakilala ko sa mga scientist, ma'am, hindi naman nila tinitingnan yung kung ano yung pakinabang in terms of siguro kung magkano yung kikitain o ano. Mas yung fulfillment nasa research, nasa
Yes.
magiging successes dun sa research.
Opo.
So, as a balik scientist, what do you get out of it?
We have the program of the DOST on a more practical note is that may package na kasi yan sila. So parang merong kind of repatriation package na binibigay sa amin. So we have a daily subsidence from the Department of Science and Technology while we are under the Balik Scientist Program. They even sponsor po yung aming airfare. We have a good insurance system from the Department of Science and Technology. So in a sense, the scientists are well taken care of under the Balik Scientist Program naman po. So, in that sense, on a more practical note, there is some sort of security while you're under the Balik Scientist Program.
So, from Japan, balik kayo sa Pilipinas, meron
Yes.
ba kayong na-encounter na challenges o hurdles, iniisip ko, in terms of equipment, in terms of yung technology?
Definitely. So on the professional level po, no. So my specialization is really neurogenetics. So long read sequencing. So kanina nabanggit niyo po na kayo po ay biologist, no. So marami po kayong mga words siguro na so long read sequencing. So these are the advanced CRISPR-Cas9 targeted sequencing, advanced technology in terms of genetics, and then pagdating po dito ay wala pa po ang mga ganitong programa dito po sa atin. And bilang isang doktor, ang gusto ko nga po ay, ako po kasi ay medical doctor, so isa po akong neurologist and at the same time scientist po, no? So I want to bridge that gap of the health and science to benefit more of our patients. So, in terms of equipment, marami pa po tayong kailangang ano. So yun po ang actually yun po ang aming proyekto po ngayon under the Department of Science and Technology is for us to hopefully to build our neurogenetics lab po no under sa Quirino Memorial Medical Center po. Opo.
Ayan, nabanggit nyo, ma'am, na medical doctor kayo at saka neurogeneticist. So, ano ba ang ginagawa ng isang neurogeneticist at pwedeng i-introduce na natin po yung inyong project patungkol po sa stroke?
Okay. So, ang isang neurogeneticist po, ako po isang neurologist and neurogeneticist, no? So, we are, in a sense, it's more of personalized medicine approach po ang aming target talaga. So, ang aming tinitingnan po ay kung ang isang pasyente ay una, may namamana ba na sakit? May dumadaloy ba na sakit sa pamilya from one generation to another? Pangalawa, meron po ba mga rare diseases din na ang isang pasyente? And the third is the complex or complex diseases. So, isa na po yan ang stroke po, no? Ang stroke ay isang malaki at isang complex na disease, pero ang akin pong inaaral ay ang early onset stroke o ang stroke sa mas nakababatang population, no? And it was kind of an incidental study, if I may be honest po, no? But parang nakita ko po as I was looking back into my life, early onset stroke has been one of the things that really pushed me to go into neurogenetics na PhD. Ikukwento ko lang po, no, back then, I was a young neurologist. Marami po kasing sakit sa neuron na walang gamot. So that really, for me, very frustrating siya bilang isang doktor dahil ang aming tungkulin ay gumamot ng pasyente. Kapag wala kang gamot na ibigay, nakaka-frustrate at kumbaga hindi namin naiaangat ang buhay ng aming pasyente. Ngunit may isa po akong pasyente na hindi ko po talaga malimutan po. 32 years old, father of 2 children. Naka-maintain po siya ng isang pampalabnaw na gamot sa dugo, no? Tinatawag po itong warfarin. Unfortunately, dahil po, kailangan niya po yung gamot na yon para sa kanyang puso, no? May kondisyon po siya sa puso. Ngunit yung gamot din na yon, the same medicine that to benefit him is actually the same medicine that caused his demise. Namatay po yung pasyente dahil nag-bleed po siya. So he bled because mataas po ang labnaw ng dugo niya, no? Masyadong malabnaw po ang kanyang dugo, kaya pumutok po sa utak. Pero po ang caveat po kasi doon is meron pong may mga genotype o may mga tinatawag po tayong mga nakikitang impormasyon sa DNA natin na sana na-prevent po namin. So in a sense, sana it was for me a very very strong situation for a doctor na it could have been a preventable death if only I have the genetic data of that patient. But back then, 10, 12 years ago, there was none. Wala pa po nun. And so that kind of pushed me really to look for the neurogenetics program abroad kasi wala po dito sa Pilipinas. And when I came back to Quirino Memorial Center, lucky din po ng aking pasasalamat sa Quirino Memorial Medical Center, because it's a advanced brain and spine center of the Philippines. At ang amin pong pamumuno po ng QMMC, binigyan po nila ako ng trust na maging unang balik scientist ng QMMC. So pagdating ko po, sabi ko, kumbaga gusto ko kilalanin kung ano yung mga kaso na hinaharap na common doon sa kanilang hospital, no? Tapos nung inanalyze ko, there are a stroke-ready hospital also. Sabi ko, ang dami nilang stroke patients, pero ang dami rin pong mga batang nasustroke. So in fact, on that study, 1 out of 7 people who had a stroke are less than 45 years old.
So, ibig sabihin nun, Doc, kasi ang sinasabi po ng mga tao, lifestyle disease daw yung kinakain mo, naninigarilyo ka, umiinom ka. Pero kung may bata, ibig sabihin,
more than lifestyle siya. In my opinion, and this is provided in the literature also, no? So, marami na pong pagsasalik or pag-research po dito sa ibang bansa. Sa atin po kasi, wala pa po talagang focus na research sa early onset stroke po, no? Pero sa pag-aaral din po sa ibang bansa, it's more than a lifestyle disease. So, meron po palang mga mutasyon sa DNA na pwedeng maging susceptible or mas mataas ang risk ng isang tao sa stroke. Ito po ay pwedeng mga namamanang sakit na pwedeng pumutok, mabilis sa pagputok ng ugat, mabilis na, or pagkipot ng ugat, o kaya yung mga ganun po, na, or mga rare diseases po, or mga monogenic diseases, na pwede rin magkaroon ng mataas na susceptibility sa stroke. So, ang early onset stroke ng mga pasyente ay, kumbaga, special na group of patients na hindi lang po pwede nating ikahon sa lifestyle disease. 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, this is more of a lifestyle disease. But the early onset stroke is more complex and multifactorial po ang tinatawag.
Di ba po sa Doc, sa mga newborn, may screening ka para
Yes.
malaman kung magkakaroon ng ganitong sakit ang
Yes
isang
po.
sanggol.
Opo.
So, in your role as neurogeneticist, ganito ba ang gusto nating malaman? I-identify kung ano yung genes na yun para malaman kung predisposed to stroke ang isang
Napakagaling niyo pong mag-deduce. Kasi yan na yan po ang aking, yan po ang aming goal actually. Because the newborn screening was able to identify the common diseases po ng childhood po, no, na they can be preventable or manageable po. Yun din po ang goal ko po. Yun po ang aming layunin sa early onset stroke study po namin sa Quirino Memorial Center. And that is this is in collaboration po, no, hindi lang po ako ito. Although ito po ay genetics po talaga, pero it's in collaboration with multiple specialties po. Meron po kaming mga stroke specialists at saka po, of course, ang primary investigator po nito is our head po, si Dr. Maria Victoria Manuel. And ang goal po namin in the future is to identify the genetic mutations of our population so that we can eventually screen po our population.
Ayan.
Opo.
So, hinahanap niyo yung genetic mutations sa population, pero doon sa mga nakasalamuhan yung stroke patients, meron na bang identified kung ano yung pinaka-common?
Yes po. For now kasi wala pa po kasi tayong machine, wala pa po tayong equipment to actually do the genetic screening. So this is really more of research part pa po, and then yun po ang ating layunin, ang magkaroon po tayo ng genetic profile ng early onset stroke, and then eventually we would be able to screen our population po eventually. Yun po ang ating goal po para ma-prevent po ang ganito pong sakit.
Pero pag pumunta kami ngayon sa QMMC,
Opo.
ano po ang meron doon in terms of yung inyong neurogenetics program for stroke?
So, sa ngayon po, ito po ay nakahanay pa lang po na programa ng Department of Science and Technology in collaboration with QMMC po, no. In fact, last year lang po kasi ako bumalik, no. So I just came back po from Tokyo. So this is nakahanay na programa po namin. For now po, wala pa po tayong routine screening na ginagawa. But QMMC is a stroke-ready hospital. So kapag po meron po tayong pasyente na mukhang nagsustroke, they can bring to Quirino Memorial Medical Center, and we're a stroke-ready hospital. Our hospital is equipped po to manage stroke patients po. Yes.
As a stroke-ready hospital po, ano po yung mga innovative ways para makatulong po? Kasi pag sinabi niyo rehabilitation,
Yes.
nangyari na eh.
Opo.
So meron po ba tayong pwedeng maging interventions to reduce yung talagang consequence ng pagka-stroke?
Opo.
Or meron po bang innovative ways para makatulong sa mas mabilis na rehabilitasyon?
Okay. So, actually maganda po ang programa ng Stroke Society of the Philippines. The Stroke Society of the Philippines also helps many hospitals around the country, and one of them is Quirino Memorial Medical Center, and we have our imaging muna, we have our CT scan and MRI, and we have yung pampalabnaw po ng pampagamot po or fibrinolytic therapy po na tinatawag. Kapag po may blood clot po sa utak na nakita, pwede pong ibigay po yon. So meron po time sensitive po yun, no? 4 to 4.5 hours po ang ating time at the onset of stroke para po ma-lyse po or matunaw po yung blood clot at ma-prevent po yung further na pagkasira po ng affected area ng brain, no? So isa po 'yon. And then of course we have our acute stroke unit, close monitoring po. This is in close collaboration with our very much equipped nurses po kasi hindi lang naman po doktor talaga ang tumitingin, may nurses po and early rehabilitation. So it's all part of a system po of each stroke-ready hospital. One of them is QMMC, but there are a lot na po of stroke-ready hospitals in the Philippines po. And this has been a very good program that has been supported by our government.
Ayan, speaking of support from the government, siguro may magtatanong, kunyari may na-stroke sa pamilya, tapos gustong magtanong sa QMMC, lahat ba pwedeng magkonsulta o mag-avail ng services?
Pwede po tayong kumonsulta sa outpatient department po, no? Just that on this part po of the early onset stroke, since ito po ay nakahanay pa, hindi pa po natin talagang hindi pa po siya available po as a routine screening procedure in the hospital. Pero just on the side of stroke, our outpatient clinic services, we have, and anyone is open po to come and consult po with our outpatient services po.
Balikan natin, Doc, yung experience mo sa Japan. So, bumalik na kayo dito.
Opo.
Masasabi niyo po ba na handa na ang Pilipinas na mag-adopt sa mga mas advanced na teknolohiya, lalo na po sa stroke rehabilitation?
Okay. In my opinion, just the fact that I am here and the people have supported me po, no? DOST has supported us coming home. I think the Philippines is already not just ready, but gearing up towards becoming a more advanced in terms of our health, more advanced in terms of our research po, no? So I think we're ready. We've always been ready, and lalo na po ngayon po ang programa nga po ng DOST ay hikayatin ng mga siyentipiko sa ibang bansa. So I think yun po ay isang napakagandang programa po para sa amin.
Ayan, bilang panghuli na lang, Doctor, dalawang mensahe po yung ipabibigay ko sa inyo. Isa sa mga kababayan nating siyentipiko na nasa ibang bansa na siguro ine-entertain nila yung pagbabalik pero may humaharang sa kanila. Baka mamaya yung kulang sa gamit, kulang sa funding. So, hikayatin nyo sila. At yung pangalawa naman sa ating mga kababayan patungkol po sa promising stroke research.
Okay. So, first po, I think I would like to call on ang ating mga scientifico, our experts from other country. At the core, as a Filipino, our heart is to serve the people and to serve the Filipino people. And so the government has a very good and organized program to support experts from abroad to come home. And we are very much well supported practically, economically as well. And so it's a good bridging program po para bumalik ulit sa ating bansa. And isa nga po, I think one of the things that I would like to tell our scientists, it's very good to come home, but I think you should also consider staying and really making a mark in our country, because at the end of the day, the people who have worked so hard to reach this far are the people who are needed by our country. So, isa po yun talaga sa kailangan ng ating Pilipinas, ang mga busilak na gustong magsilbi para sa ating bayan. And the second one is for our
Stroke research.
yung stroke research ko po sa Quirino Memorial Medical Center po. So bilang panghuli, no, ang stroke ay it's generally a lifestyle disease, no? It's really taking care of your body. That's our first defense to prevent stroke po. Pero ang equally as important is ang pananaliksik o ang research, especially sa early onset stroke. At hopefully with a program and the support of the DOST, Department of Science and Technology, we will be able to build this program upang mas mapagsilbihan pa natin ang ating bansa. And I think the battle cry I would echo the battle cry of DOST, agham na ramdam. So a science that is felt by the people at talagang nilalapit natin ang siyensya sa Pilipino. At para ito sa mas uunlad ng bawat Pilipino at bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita sa akin ngayon.
Mabuhay po kayo at maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Dr. Joyce Porto, balik scientist ng DOST at isang neurogeneticist. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.